Welcome. In this video, we're going to take a look at some buy the same token products for the Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth game and Arkham Horror the card game. So buy the same token, saw that I was starting some campaigns into Arkham Horror the card game and Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth and decided to send me some product. So full disclosure, I do have an affiliate account with them, so if you order some product and use DEL5 as a discount code, you'll receive 5% off on your purchase, and I'll also receive 5% for an affiliate link. So with that said, I have bought a lot of stuff myself. After we take a look at this stuff, we'll take a look at some other Arkham Horror items that I purchased with my own funds. I think that's everything out of the box. And just like it was shipping to anyone else, they package everything very tight to make sure everything's in good condition for when it gets here. And there's a link to their products and code to get to their Instagram and Facebook. And like I said, during checkout, if you put in DEL5, you'll get 5% off of your order. So we'll go ahead and start with the big items, which I think are displays for Arkham Horror. Yep, we can see we've got the agenda and scenario items here. So it comes packaged with some safety on it. So we get to have the fun of peeling that off and see if we can do it in one take. Nope, not even close. All right. So there's the scenario, and you can see it is 3 layers thick. Hopefully you can see that. And on the back it's got pegs for a stand. Of course I can scrape those off in a bit. But you can have this standing up there with your scenario card. And that fits the card there if you got it sleeved in something big. It does hang off a little bit, but you really don't need those cards sleeved. So it sits in the inlay really nice there. Of course, you can take those off if you want it to sit flat. Then for the agenda and act, once again, you can see how thick this is. So we've got about 5 layers there. One for this. Another layer just for some depth. And then to put our tokens on the bottom. See if we can peel this off. Test out my fingernails. There we go. We actually got it all. So phases of the moon going on there. And once again, you've got spots in the back. So you can have this standing up. And then for sleeved cards, it's going to work just fine. So it'll work just fine without sleeves. Really changes the look of the table for sure. Very nice. Let's see what else we have here. I think we've got some Doom tokens and then a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff. All right, here's your Doom. And very well packaged, shooting out there. And I've got some peeling to do, so I will peel away and be right back. Just like that. All right, so we've got some Doom tokens here, which fit nicely in there. And so they're dual-sided, so you can just flip them over here to get 2 Doom, but we don't want to do that. And then since I'm using Michael McGlynn, it gave me some ammo tokens. So that's a single ammo and then flip it over for 2. Very nice. So that's all the goodies for Arkham Horror. So we'll set that aside. And then for Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth, let's see here. I've got tons of tokens. It's going to take me a while to peel all these things off, so I'll do them in small batches. So these are person tokens. And then in here, looks like we've got some search and threat. And some depletion tokens and darkness that I'll peel off. A lot more search and threat, depletion, and inspiration exploration tokens. Well, that took me about 25 minutes to get done. So now we can take a look. I've got a copy of the tokens we're replacing. So these are the depletion tokens that came with the game. And here's what we get with buy the same token. So you can see we've got some text going around the bag there. So very detailed, and same image on both sides for those. And then the inspiration and exploration tokens. So these are the cardboard, dual-sided. And same thing with these, except the cardboard port, dual-sided. Different colors on each side. A little bit more detail on the outer edges. Then we have the search and threat tokens, which are also dual-sided, and the replacements. So we've got, once again, text going around, very finely detailed. And then we have the darkness tokens, got the same symbol on both sides. And down here, very much the same. And lastly, the person tokens in 4 different variations. So the cardboard token, we've got the dwarf and elf. Same thing down here, dwarf and elf. And hobbit and human. And the counterpart for that. So that's all the tokens for Lord of the Rings. And before we go on to the other stuff that I bought on my own, I want to take another closer look. Just make sure you saw the details on this with the scenario, just the etching on that, but definitely on the agenda and act with the moons in there. Trying to get that without any glare coming up. Okay, so I got the basic or generic Investigator boards. So just some generic, I guess, Cthulhu text around there. A lot of glare, but basically you put your character card in there, and there's a hole in the back so you can easily push it out. And all those spaces on the side or on the back are to allow for these tokens, going over your health, sanity, resources, and clues. And of course these are all dual-sided. So 1s and 3s for the clues and resources. And 1s and 2s for the health and sanity. These come in two varieties. I went with the ivory on those. I think that looks really good with the black. Also got a few of the ready and exhausted tokens, so dual-sided on those. And action markers in three varieties. So these are the generic, they're dual-sided. So that's the generic, and then they all have kind of like almost midnight on the backside. And I went with the transparent versions of these. So generic, then we've got the rogues, almost midnight, and then the rogue symbol on the backside. And the survivor, I like the red ones too. So we've got the survivor symbol on one side and the past my bedtime on the other side. So that's a closer look at some tokens from Buy the Same Token for Arkham Horror the card game and Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, so please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.